So,
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a Q.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Sunday, December 30th, 2018. All right, folks, got a few things just want to cover here. Lots of comments, lots of emails, people trying to figure out things. That's all we're all trying to do here. All right, folks. Again, just to cover everything for everyone to hear it, we do not condone or wish for or pray for martial law. It'd be foolish to do so. We just don't dwell on either. And we got facts to go over. That's all we're trying to say here. So think for yourself, folks. Listen to the people that have lived through it and are here to tell you about it. Heard all kinds of, there's no different versions. It's all the same. It's all bad. Well, I'm just saying that there's been people that it's actually worked the way it's written. Come in quickly, shut down an area to make it safe during disasters, or there's other scenarios. So there are different versions, and the versions that people have lived through seem to have been tied around a natural disaster that happened, and citizens were so-called patriots sometimes were going out and doing bad things, robbing people's homes, looting stores for their goods, and that's something you don't do anytime. So those are the facts. So whether the facts, you don't like them because it doesn't help your narrative of something, I'm sorry. Again, those are just the facts that we went over. So these are people themselves. Again, people that sat there and said they didn't like it. There are stories that, you hear maybe people got guns taken, and then shortly after people broke into their house that still had guns, and they were disarmed, and that sucks. So that's why I don't promote. I don't wish. So, but most of the time, martial law, if it happens, it's going to be imposed on you, right around you. So at that point, you make up your own decisions and how you want to move forward. It seems like some people have managed to have martial law imposed on them. They didn't like it. They still don't like it, but it seems that they're still free, living, breathing, and possibly got their firearms back. I don't know. Love to hear back from more of you so we can just report on some facts and not a bunch of, as much fact as there, martial law. Could it be coming? Sure. Could bad people be going down? Sure. There's no proof of bad people going down. Well, there's no proof of your martial law. It's all a fairy tale that we have to sit there and listen to. And martial law to be imposed across the whole U.S. by maybe, the UN or a foreign service. Where's the proof? If there is a story out there that I followed to tell you about the Illuminati and how they operate, is all that a LARP, PSYOP? Was it all, why is it out there? Why is it made available? If it was true, wouldn't it be shut down? Wouldn't have been shut down. So where do you get your narratives from to point towards this, what's going down? Folks, evil does exist, and so does good, all right? You can decide what you want to be part of. If there's a chance that anything good's being done and you physically see it, and for somebody to tell you, no, it's not good, don't look at that, look over here, just worry about prepping and martial law coming for you. Okay, you can do that. You can be ready for martial law, prepped, and still try to look at truth. Or you can quit looking, think everything's bad, and just sit in this little pigeonhole. If people are telling you that, that's on you to figure out. Are they driving you away from looking at things? Because what disbenefit do you get from we know evil exists. We know bad things. I've been part of things that I've seen bad going on. We've uncovered it. People went down. Justice worked. That was good. Taking out evil. It exists. Is there a master plan, the big picture of everything I've researched to point to a one world government, one world religion, one world money? Yes, that was the whole plan. And we all can, a lot of us that have researched can believe in that. Hold it true, near and dear. And then, is there a fork in the plan right now? Folks, there are rules to the game. This all leads back to, in all my research, to being evil versus good. But unfortunately, we have people like us in the middle. If they don't come and take things. At this point, it is a manipulation. They use a propaganda to get you to disarm yourself. That's how it works. They're not going to come door to door. It would be people like in these other countries you've seen where they throw their guns in the back of these garbage trucks. They have gun turn-ins. They did it, the buybacks. It's you convincing, you being convinced, manipulated into doing things that you typically wouldn't do. So the bigger guys, and they have a playbook, all right, as well, and it teaches them, like, as easy as it would be for us to just take the election, we like to see how good our propaganda is, and 8 months before, 5 months before that actual presidential election, if you have your inside Illuminati guy voted by the people to be the head runner, the Republican and the Democrat, you've already won. They're sitting back like, yes, we can't lose. Both of our bonesmen are in. So you see how that works. And now 4 months later, we vote on November. It didn't matter. So are we to say that we've never had an outsider infiltrate that system? Light isn't good enough to ever make it in dark. It's always going to, and people that pray that, folks, when you talk to people, we don't need as big a government. We don't need, and people are like, oh, well, Mike, I like my roads, and who's going to protect you? And when those kind of questions come back when you talk about things, it's like, well, did you ever seen a congressman or a politician that you give money to out there paving your roads, making the roads? No, it was always the local company you know of that you see. They have a physical brick and mortar building. There's just a middleman we pay taxes to. They get a hold of them, and then these people build. We don't, do you really need the middleman? When they ask about who's going to protect you, or so-called, like, they're telling you in so many words they're not going to protect you. They don't have an idea. They don't have a clue how to run things without government, or giving money over here, or making a phone call to get protected for, after they're getting robbed. So these people that only want to keep you in this one area pigeonholed, and you're and not looking at anything that can, because that's the whole illusion, folks. The 1% do things and cover up for the 1% from who they hiding things from the 99% of us. So the more that the 99 can wake up, if that's their whole guise. Their whole guise is to keep it from you. So the biggest threat to them isn't tracking down the one guy that's, that eventually can help. But we're talking about everybody being aware of, like, the real reason they don't want the border wall. You have these people on TV saying things that sound good, but if you're aware and awake to the facts that there is trafficking and drug flow, and these things kill and destroy our communities, it destroys lives and kids' lives. As many are getting sucked into this country for the trade. There's tons of American kids getting and pulled out. That's, so now at any point a politician gets up on stage and tells you other things, the truth. And you can just see right through it. That helps. If you have 99%, the masses on board with something that is a lie, it doesn't stand. That's their biggest fear. That the truth. They can't walk down the streets. It doesn't work. Their illusion is gone. But no, don't look at any of that, because it ain't going to lead to nowhere. Nobody's going down. That is somebody telling you that they are hopeless. They don't know how to do it, and just stick over here and do this and that. Folks, I am not condoning martial law. We would never want it. But it seems like it's been imposed on people, and I'm sure they didn't want it. They didn't raise their hand. They didn't do cartwheels when it came. But it seems like in those circumstances, it worked. Now people are like, oh, that wasn't the one. I mean, people have been following the martial law is coming for 50 years. People have been prepping for 50 years. It's just not here yet. All these other little cases we've had were, and if you were one of them people in that area where it got inflicted on you, and you've been into this conspiracy of that it's coming, maybe you thought that was the day, like, oh my God, it's imposed. And your TV's out and you're not seeing reports because of the electrical lines are down, and you might think it just happened all over the US. And so now, yeah, it does make it to where when people knock on your door to get your gun, are you just shooting, or are you going to listen? I don't know. That is on you to do all your research and land where you want. Nobody here is trying to tell you what to do. what to hand over. We're just telling you some facts. Other people have had it imposed. They didn't like it. They still don't like it to this day, but I'm wondering where they're at, what they're doing, how well they're doing, and do they have their rights back? It seems to be if you're on YouTube and you're still talking, you didn't get shot, you didn't get locked up and taken away, and we've never heard or seen from you again. You just vanished. And that seems to be the big talking point with everything going on, is that once it comes, we are done. Well, it's come and gone several times is all I'm saying. And well, those weren't the ones we're talking about. Okay, which one are you talking about? We're just going to keep waiting. How much longer? Do you have a date for that? We don't have dates for anything, folks. We are looking at facts. You could either be part of the truth or you can remain part of the lie. That's all we're trying to do here, folks. The 1% cover for the other 1%, hiding it from the 99%. As the 99% are waking up, you have some trying to convince you to go back to sleep. All right? Don't wake up, stay over here. That's the scarier thing. So lots of people will tell you lots of things without blatantly doing it. You just have, when they ask the question of like, ain't nobody going down, that means they don't know how to take people down. And we're not promoting anything other than the knowledge of it. I think that's really huge. If there's an opportunity, because if every single one of my fellow Americans, if we all knew something to be true, there's no way that it can go on any longer. All right. That's the bottom line. That's how it works. The only reason people have not gone down for things is because it's been hidden. So the truth is all it really takes, because nobody would put up with Hillary Clinton being on TV if all of her crimes are truly exposed. And we get that not everybody will ever believe in everything. Even if she said it herself. I mean, there are people, well, what she meant to say, I think, was, and they'll add words and change her whole narrative, even if they were confessing things in a court of law at the last minute. It's just, people claim evil will always win. Q's fake, or it would have been stopped by now. No arrest, no martial law. We haven't had that yet either. And the ones that we have had, is the point, have been lifted and gone, and people are back with all their freedoms. But I thought it was an indefinite, done for, blah, blah, blah. We all agree that was the original thing. JFK, was he somehow duped the system back then to get in? Or was it the plan to let him in? And then, the story goes he duped. He shook hands, acted like he was part of it, sat back for 13 months, gathering things. Even his secretary. This lady was taking things outside of the office. That's how deep this stuff went. Like one of his personal things, he would give her FBI files, and she was giving him to mob. I think the mob, and they thought they were getting good information. It was JFK was playing along, giving her FBI, truly FBI stuff, just stuff that was okayed. It was like, this will not cause any national secrets or anything to be exposed. It is legit stuff, and it was old, possibly by weeks or months. Giving it to her, she'd take it out. They thought that he was on the inside with them as well. Whether this was mob or deep state, whatever, right? And then when he duped them all, he was just basically going around for several months gathering names and seeing how, and it was and that's when he came out with that speech. It's a vast system embedded into the scientifical, educational, military, everywhere, folks, all right? And then boom, he was done. Lincoln shot. JFK shot. Then you had Reagan come out. He said some pretty powerful things against the system. He was looking at the Fed too, and then they tried to get him. People say it was a warning shot. No, they literally tried to kill him. It just so happened that it didn't work. And then I think he got on board because maybe they would have tried it again. So is it that unfeasible, or those are facts, that we have another one? Trump. No, not at this point. I don't think they've closed up their system. There are rules to the game, folks. And we have free will. They have to manipulate you. They can't just blatantly take things and enforce it. Otherwise, if they would just force the election, they would just force everything else all day long. It's about manipulating, and I think everyone could agree on that. We got free will. So you got the free will to watch and listen to what you want, all right? Don't let nobody drive you. If you think you have a chance to do good in this world, will you do it? Or will you sit in the corner and only worry about what probably inevitably is coming? Is this a fork in the... Do we have a chance for 50 years of goodness? Like I said, I've been part a local legion of mine. We had a really corrupt person in there. We dug, we found out all kinds of things. Justice was served. We cleaned it up. I'm now focusing on other things. Is there evil back there trickling in? Probably. Is it going to take a few years to brew up to a point at possibly. It's always going to come back. But if you have a chance to take it down and have a year or two of good, we know the story, you know. I mean, you got to make that decision, folks. Don't look for channels or people to guide you. Drive you. All right. I'm not here to drive you. I'm here to guide you in possible directions. If I felt it really deeply in my heart to only talk about prepping and martial law is coming, I guess I would do it. I have what's inside of me is exposing this and having a chance that everybody can get eyes on it. And the more eyes on it, the more people are going to wake up to the truth and eradicate all the evil for maybe a short amount of time, at least out of our system. Is that so? No, there's just no chance. Evil is all there is. And to me, that's somebody telling you they don't understand, they don't know quite what to do, and this has never been done before, possibly. Those are very possible valid things. Again, just go with what you think is right. If you see a chance where somebody is putting in things to stop human trafficking, stop human rights abuse, those are positive things. We went over the track record of, so again, the mainstream's not talking about it. If Trump was an inside guy with them, unless this is all a ploy, they'd be a little bit more, you know, when Barack Obama won, when Bush won, same agendas got pushed. The mainstream, yeah, they still acted pretty heavy on Bush, but it wasn't to this level. This is all out hate. And this came from corporations, the media, the DC itself, even half the Republican Party. You saw the Bushes flipping. They were Republicans. Or now vote for Hillary. I mean, come on. If that wasn't blatant, folks. So that tells you right there alone. And everyone's like, you know what? It was Trump coming in with his own new world order, and he's going to be taking out this other new world order cabal system that involved Hillary and the Clintons and the Soros and the Sads. And that's a whole nother rabbit hole we'd have to go down. And I'm just taking it for how it hits me and what I see with my actual eyes. Unfortunately, we've had this for a long, long time. All you can do is listen to politicians stand there and talk and take their words. People are like, well, unfortunately, you know, you can dig into what they're saying, but the talk has never been from either side. Even in the last elections before that, they'll talk about we need to lower taxes, and that's how they hit the system when they talk about taxes and stuff. Trump is straight up, all out, remove power from DC, give it back to the people. We need to do, that is opposite. So this would have to, and those who aren't following along enough because they're stuck over in these other areas, only worried about the martial law that's inevitably coming. Like I said, this story's been around a long time. If you've been looking into the cabal and the system, it didn't start yesterday. There's been people prepping and waiting for martial law since the 70s, and they're still waiting and they're still a prepping. That's fine. They've probably, if you're not mental about it and over it, you can still function and you can be prepped for those things. And then over here, you can either help fight for truth to get out, or you can promote evil and swim in that. Because if you have a chance even to take down some evil and you don't, then that just lets us know what part of the fight you're in. You're trying to keep people over and not to even do that, because the more people that don't look at truth and the more people that don't wake up, we're sitting right where we've been this whole time. All right, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed, each and every one of you worldwide. I hope I answered some of your questions and from the emails and all the different comments down below. So keep doing that. Check in the comments, leaving comments. We love it. We love the questions. We love the links. We love the thought. Everyone needs to think for themselves. Come to your own conclusions, folks. You can't be wrong. But just got to figure out what you stand for and where you want to be. Where's your place in this whole story? All right, we'll talk to you back. We'll see you back here real soon. Next episode.